Hey guys, 10 Exit, life and business as usual, never again. Marina Simon with you here today. Well, I'm so excited to be here with you today. And today I want to talk to you about false basic principles that are taught at business schools. When I was young, I decided to make my luggage and embark in this new adventure. I decided I want to go to the best school ever. And luckily that I got accepted to an Ivy League school in New York City. And more luckily, I got a couple of scholarships to support me through my journey. I was so excited, and basically I had a purpose, and my purpose was to learn those basic principles in business that will make business thrive. True basic principles that will help the economy, change. If we could teach those principles to the business community and make them thrive, our economy will thrive. I am Mexican, and my economy, or the economy of my country, has its history of a lot of pain and struggle. And I thought that those men that hold the business community together were the ones that could be the solution to that. So I embarked myself in that adventure, which I was so excited to have. And I was looking for those superpower and ninja tools, right, that I needed to thrive and to help others, to get and apply. And but I hit a wall. And that was when, during, and after I graduated, I realized that only 10% or even less of that, it was very practical for me to apply, for my jobs. I was in banking, I was in corporate, and I realized that 100% of that was not really all of it practical. And that 90% or 95% of that I learned on the job site. So my realization then was that, okay, so life will teach me what I need to learn, and the school experience was really just to open me the doors in order for me to make a good living. But nowadays, time has gone through, and I guess the transformation that I, have within myself was that there were certain principles that were taught inverse to what they were. First of all, I have to say, they never taught me how to create a business itself. I was taught how to interview for banks. I was taught how to interview for consulting firms. I was taught how to interview for other companies. But that meant you're an employee, right? I was never taught, at least on that time, how to create my own business. And within those, education, quote unquote, there were a couple of principles that it really, stand the most. And I want to share them with you today, if that's okay with you. So first of all, they teach you, create the organization and they will come, right? Just create the organization and people will come to you. Well, that's not, that's really not true. You need to create the sales first before investing on an organization. It's a lot of investment on time and on resources that you, as you start, you don't have, right? So then basically you first need to see what is already selling in the market, right? And once you see what is selling in the market, then create a product that will fulfill the demands of the market that is already buying. You're not creating a new product. That is the most dangerous thing to do. Create a new product out of the blue when you think that might be a bright idea, because first of all, guys, you're not the one who fills your wallet. You're not your own public or audience, right? You're providing a product for an audience. You're providing a product or a service for a consumer or for somebody you want to serve, but you're not your own audience. So just doing those kind of things are really dangerous. And that's why I think the statistic might be like 50% of the businesses close within the first 3 years. This is why. First, you need to create the sales. use that demand, start selling, and then you start creating the organization hand on hand as the sales start increasing, right? You start needing to build that system up, build a system that is going to support you to continue the sales for that sales or for that product or service. So that's number one. Now, number two is pretty linked to that, and it's something that they call in business school the J curve, right? The J curve is just, in simplicity of things, it's a curve, right? Like a J. And basically it tells you that maybe the first 3-4 years you're running on red numbers, right? Your cash flow is negative. You just have put a lot of money to create this business, and you're not going to get a return on investment until the 4th year or so. Well, guys, that goes hand on hand. That's false. You do not have to go into debt at the beginning of your business in order to have a business, unless in order to succeed. So people that get venture capital and get on debt before starting the business is you're starting with the left foot. If you create your sales before you build the organization, and you create your sales and you start building it hand on hand, you don't need those additional debt or investments. So that's another thing. It doesn't have to go into red numbers, especially nowadays. If you really use the tools that we have with the internet, you can set up a sales funnel up for a business, a service, or a product, right? And start selling without getting into debt. And then just reinvest your income, right? That is coming out. So that's number two. Number three, I never was taught about advertisement, right? I remember hearing from another group saying that, you have to invest 20% or 25% of your income, 20% of your income in advertising. And I thought it was crazy. But you know what? The person that pays the most in advertisement is the person that wins the market. So you want to beat your competition, you need to really invest on advertisement. You need to be on all fronts, on all platforms. So your ideal customer sees you constantly. And that's the way to beat your competition. And the last point, which I find one of the most important points, is that we're taught, when you have competition, you're taught how to compete is to drop your price, right? In order for your customer, or call your customer to go to you instead of going to your competition, you say, okay, I'm going to drop my price. If my competition is selling it in $10, I'm going to sell it on $9. And they'll come to me because of price. Yeah, but what happens, guys? We have more competition than only 2 people. So are you going to continue to drop your prices until you do not become viable? That's also something that do not help the viability of a business or the expansion of a business. How can you compete in a very, very successful and effective way, but increasing your survival in your business and also allowing you to serve more people, right? So that is not by price, guys. You should become the most expensive. Now you'll ask yourself, how? How am I going to become the most expensive and get my clients coming to me and not coming to my competition? Well, you add value. You add the value that your competition is not adding. Let's see that you have a nursery, right? And you're competing with other nurseries and they're selling, let's see, a plant, let's put $10, right? So you say, okay, good. So my competition is selling this particular plant in $10. Well, how can you add value and sell it for $20? Become expensive and become valuable. And how can you make them come to you? Okay, so here's an example. You can buy an amazing pot, painted, gorgeous, colorful, right? You can get also additional nutrition for the plant. You can get certain things that the plant is going to bloom faster, right? So you create an offer stack. You create something for your customer that it will take them on the journey, right? So let's see that they like plants. Okay, so they buy a plant. Now, what other product do they have to solve? Well, that plant needs to be well fed, right? It needs to be surviving strong. Okay, so that's where you give these nutritions to the plant. Now, is that person gonna put it in their house just like in a little basket? No, they want a nice pot. They want a colorful pot, or just a beautiful pot. So that's what you provide. So if you create an offer stack that is more valuable than the one of your competition, guess what's gonna happen with your customers? They're gonna come to you. They're really going to come to you, but for that, it's not something you're going to assume what they want. You're going to see what the market wants, right? You have to first survey your market. They like colorful pots. They like, they want nutrition. What kind of nutrition for the plants? They want what? What do they want? What do they like? And once you create that offer, you sell it for double that. And that's another principle that is not taught at business school, and that is key for thriving your business. So I hope this was useful. I'm so excited I was with you today, and I'll see you tomorrow in our next episode. Bye.